This is the X-Zone Broadcast Network, broadcasting worldwide on broadcast affiliates and satellite program providers, including CNN Broadcast Network, Sirius Satellite Network, Star Media, Good News Radio Network, Angel Broadcast Network, Wiki Broadcast Network, and WPBN TV. For more information on the X-Zone Broadcast Network, visit us at www.xzbn.net.
Welcome to the X-Zone, everyone. My name is Rob McConnell. For the next 4 hours, I'm your host and your guide as together we cross the time-space continuum to this place that I call the X-Zone. It's a place where people dare to believe and dare to be heard. It's a place where fact is fiction and fiction is reality. And the X-Zone comes to you Monday through Friday from 10 p.m. Eastern until 6 a.m. Eastern, which means I'm your host for 8 hours now. Wow. Right here on the Talkstar Radio Network, X-Zone Broadcast Network, Wonder Star Network, Star Cable, and our broadcast affiliates right across Canada, the United States, Central America, South America, the Caribbean, the Pacific Rim, Asia, India, Africa, and Europe. Worldwide toll-free, 1-800-610-7035. Email xzone@xzoneradiotv.com. On MSN Messenger, xzoneradiotv @hotmail.com. And our website, www.xzoneradiotv.com. My guest this hour on today's show is the one and only Elizabeth Joyce. Her website is www.new-visions.com. And Elizabeth, to you and yours, a very happy New Year. How did you spend New Year's Eve?
I had a wonderful time New Year's Eve, but I do want to say Happy New Year to you and Laura and the X-Zone Nation.
Oh, you're a sweetie. You know, I thought of you New Year's Eve as we were watching some of the different clips about
Dick Clark.
Yeah, Dick Clark. How is Dick doing?
Dick is doing very well. As a matter of fact, he's really come miles in the past 2 years with his therapy constantly. He's so vigilant, and
Wow.
I thought that he spoke much better and presented much better this time. I believe this is his 80th year.
My goodness.
Going to see 80. But I had a fabulous New Year's Eve. I went to a movie, and I spent time with some of my high school people. We had a reunion, and everybody's gathered back together again. So we had a little party at a restaurant, and it was nice.
Well, isn't that wonderful? New Year, school reunions or a reunion of any kind is always great because it gives you a chance to catch up with people that you haven't seen in years.
That's
so
true.
Once again, Elizabeth, to you and yours, a very happy New Year. Over the past years, you and I have been talking about predictions, especially this time of year, and you're going to be sharing with us some of your 2012 predictions. But one of the predictions that we talked about last year was this volcano that was going to erupt, and bang! Yesterday it happened.
Yes, I think I said that around June that I was concerned with it. Luckily, it doesn't seem to have destroyed too much. They have wonderful YouTube movies of it erupting, and it's very colorful, but the lava hasn't destroyed much. The other one, the one that's over near Naples, is about to go as well, and that one, last time, it destroyed some of the records of Pompeii, but we'll see what happens.
Here we are, the year is 2012. A lot of people are talking about December the 21st, 2012, and now they're saying, well, maybe it's not the 21st, maybe it's actually the 23rd.
What about it? It's only a date and time of energetic changes. We're going to have a lot of things happen this year. And, to me, the most important thing to be aware of, Rob, I think is weather, because we need to know what's happening with the weather so that we can make arrangements and either protect ourselves in some way. And that has to do with our gardening. It has to do with our ecology.
Big
so
time.
I know that, we've got political, we've got the stars for the stars, but I think weather's the most important.
All right, you and I are going to be talking about not only weather, stars, we're going to be talking about politics, we're going to be talking about medical and technology, and so much more, as well as stars for the stars. In this hour with my special guest, Miss Elizabeth Joyce. Her website is www.new-visions.com. And Elizabeth and I will be back on the other side of this commercial break in 2 minutes as the X-Zone continues right here from our studios in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. My name is Rob McConnell. If you'd like to send me an email, xzone@xzoneradiotv.com. And a special hi to my buddy at KKRP, the one and only Bob Williams. I spent some time with him on air this morning. And I want to thank all the listeners from KKRP for sending me some great emails. Your kind words are always appreciated. I'll be back on the other side of this commercial break, here in the X Zone with Elizabeth Joyce in 2 minutes. Don't go away. Did you know that when you're on the road with limited data or Wi-Fi, you can still listen to the X-Zone radio show with Rob McConnell, The Science of Magic with Gwilda Wiyaka, X-1, Dimension X, Space Patrol, and every minute of the X-Zone broadcast network by calling 213-401-0080, courtesy of Audio Now. No smartphone, app, or internet needed. It saves your data plan and it's free if you have unlimited minutes. Call 213-401-0080 to listen on any phone, anytime, anywhere. Remember 213-401-0080 for the best of the paranormal, parapsychology, and sci-fi radio programming anywhere, 24/7, 365. Welcome back, everyone. Elizabeth Joyce is my special guest this hour. Her website is new-visions.com. And Elizabeth, over the commercial break, you and I were talking about the weather, and here it is, January the 6th. It's 7 degrees outside, and we don't have any snow on the ground here in Hamilton.
That's amazing, especially for Canada. I do feel that it's coming, and I think it's going to be short and sweet. I think between like the third week in January and maybe the end of February, that we're going to have some powerful activity, water activity, and I see hailstones, huge hailstones as big as basketballs, and I see it basically Newfoundland, Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont.
Wow.
Up in that area.
This is the first year that I can recall where I have not, as of yet, had to shovel the driveway or the stairs or the rockway or the back porch.
Probably good. I guess it's global warming. I wondered what was going on up in Sweden and that area, because I'm going to tell you that that's going to begin to become very icy and very cold, and it almost may become uninhabitable.
Well, according
how
to CNN, we were just looking at the CNN news headlines. Europe is experiencing horrific winter weather these couple of days.
They should be. There's been a shift, and I saw. Of course, in my third eye, that Sweden and that area was almost going to become solid ice. So it's focusing up in that area for some reason this year. And everything has been thrown off. This is going to be a wet year. It's the year of the dragon, but it's the year of the water dragon. And that always brings warnings. It brings two warnings. The first warning is that it will be very, very, very wet in many parts of the world. I'm seeing Japan, China, and New Orleans again. And there's always something worldwide tragic that happens as we go into the year of the dragon, and something worldwide tragic that happens as we go out of the year of the dragon. Going in, I believe we might see the Pope passing away. I feel he's in ill health and that he's going to pass. And that would be a worldwide event.
Now, according to your predictions, when I read that one about the Pope, you also hinted that there may be something behind his passing.
Yes, I had said last summer that I saw him get poisoned. And sometimes that does happen through jealousy. I don't know the politics of what's going on, but I don't think that his death will be easy to explain.
Let me see. Your pick for the Super Bowl. This is rather interesting, yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I don't know why I picked Green Bay, but I did. I think they're going to play the Patriots.
All right, so you're saying the psychic says, bet your money on Green Bay.
Well, I don't like to say that, but I do think they're going to be the victor.
Okay. Let's talk
and
about
it might be close.
Let's talk about the political scenario for 2012. President Obama, an election coming up in November. What's going to happen? Or what do you believe is going to happen?
Well, that's all we're going to be hearing about is the elections. Mitt Romney has got this cold. And he had it last summer. I did predict him in with Kane. I feel very sad about what happened with Kane. I believe that most of the accusations that he received were false. I want to say that about him. But now I feel Meg coming in. She's the CEO of Hewlett-Packard, and I think she's going to run as the vice president to bring the woman into the Republican Party, and I feel that Obama has to pick Hillary. He has to, because
Well,
he
why
wants
would
to
he?
win.
Why would he pick Hillary when Joe Biden's his vice president?
Joe Biden is not going to be on the ticket.
Joe who?
There's many reasons why. He is disliked overseas. They do not like the way he presents himself. They call him the old windbag, and I do think there needs to be a change there. I know that they'll probably offer him a cabinet position. But he's not going to run with Obama.
You also
Obama is going to be threatened. We're losing the economy.
Yeah.
He is not in a good light. The one that can pull him out is Hillary, and he's going to do that to try to ensure that he wins. He'll do anything to win.
But that makes no sense because Obama has done nothing for the United States except cause more chaos than anything else.
I don't think he's going to win. And I've told you that he's a one-term president. So I didn't think he was going to run, but he is running. So he might not wind up being on the ticket if something happens to him.
Yeah, and plus, even if he is on the ticket and he has Hillary as his VP, that, in my opinion, is the worst thing he could do. That would show that there is dissension in his party, and the American people do not want dissension. They want strong leadership.
I think it's going to happen because they're not going to have Biden. I know they're not having Biden.
I think
that decision has already been made.
I think Mitt Romney is the best thing that could happen to the U.S. right now.
I do too. I like him.
Yeah.
I like his Mormon background, and that may surprise people, but the strength of that religion for family values, for conservativeness, and for really caring about what happens to others is important.
Plus, he wasn't
and
afraid.
And that happens to be important things about the Mormon church, whether others think they're controlling or not. What church isn't controlling?
Well, plus the nice fact is that Mitt Romney, disclosed his birth certificate, which is something Obama has yet to do.
Yep, I know.
All right, let's look at 2012 for Europe. What do you see in Europe? What I see based on the financial news that we get is that the euro is very unstable, and there's going to be a lot more troubles for Greece in the future.
Yes, there's going to be a lot more trouble for Greece, and I think that Spain is next. But I feel the euro failing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to cause a downfall. It's going to cause, of course, a downfall in the European markets. Let me just stay with the European markets. It affects everybody else. And they're going to have a money change. So they may go back to the German mark. I think Germany could take the strength there. But there's going to be something that's going to change. The euro isn't working. And you know what that proves to me? This is really interesting. That everybody wants a worldwide bank, or many people want a worldwide bank, which I don't want. I think we have to keep our individuality. I like unity in, working with each other, but I don't like a worldwide bank idea. This proves that it doesn't work to me.
Well, I think what it proves is that in order to have it work, you have to have countries that are economically stable. This is why the North American Union and the Amero will never work, is because Mexico is not stable. There's a faltering economy in the United States with a high deficit. And Canada's positive spot in the world banking and financial industry would be totally in jeopardy if connected to the U.S. and Mexico.
I have to say something here, if you don't mind. They have something going on in the schools called adjustable grades. Mm-hmm. And they want everybody to average out their grades. So the A student would get a C and the E student would get a C. And it's the same thing with the banks. Because what you just said is exactly true. You can't have a bank with a poor nation and a bank with a wealthy nation really work it out, because the one that loses is the wealthy nation.
That's right.
Right.
No.
And I know that we have to help others, and I know that we want to balance things out, but it doesn't seem fair. It's going to lose incentive. It's going to make people go into deep depressions. I mean, why should I go to school and try for an A when it doesn't matter?
That is so wrong on many fronts. It's just like in a family situation where dad is busting his butt doing everything he can to make the family succeed, and mom sits at home on her fat duff eating bonbons, watching TV all day.
Well, the only thing that wins, Rob, are the rich people and the banks. They win because they can have their lives, their 8 families or 10 families, and everybody else becomes a slave. So we have to really be careful. And I think every country has a right to keep their individuality and their freedom on that ground.
Well, listen to this. This just came over the wires before you and I went on air, is that the American Idol team is now looking at possibly not renegotiating Ryan Seacrest's contract at the end of this season. Do you know how much he makes per season?
No.
$15 million.
Yeah, well, that's probably why they're not going to redo him. And it's the same with the sports.
Oh, God.
And these people that get up there, have the $2 and $3 million homes, don't appreciate it. Did you see what Tiger Woods' wife did?
No, tell me.
She bought a $12 million home in Florida near Donald Trump's property. Didn't like it, brought in the tractors and leveled it.
Oh, my good Lord.
And left a mess of mud and walked away.
You know the expression more money than brains?
But who would do that when you know all the homeless people? Why couldn't they come and stay there? It had 8 bedrooms and 5 bathrooms. Why couldn't it be offered to people that need it? It's just arrogant.
Well, how many vacant buildings are there in every city in Canada and the United States that could actually be renovated and used as hostel housing?
And that does take money, and I know that people do squat there. But this is arrogant. Leveling a home because you don't like it, and then walking away?
But you know what? In all fairness, it's her house. She paid for it.
Yeah.
Let her do what she wants. It's her property. Because if we start
arrogance, and it shows a disrespect.
But if we start telling people what they can do with their own property that they've paid for, we're no better than the government who's trying to tell us what to do, where to go, what to think, what to say, and what to eat.
And that might be true, and I know that she's gone through a lot of anger, but I feel sad because I would have used it to help others, and you're absolutely right with what you said.
Yeah, it's a two-sided sword, isn't it, my dear? All right,
Right.
you stand by. You and I have to take our news break at the bottom of the hour. Exo Nation Elizabeth Joyce is my guest. www.new-vision, that's an S on visions.com, is her website. And if you'd like to find out more about our fight against Publish America, the website is www.bewareofpublishamerica.com. That's www.bewareofpublishamerica.com. 1-800-610-7035 worldwide toll free is my telephone number. My email address is xzone@xzoneradiotv.com. On MSN Messenger, xzoneradiotv@hotmail.com. And our website, www.xzoneradiotv.com. I'll be back on the other side of the commercial break with the news as we continue with yours truly, Rob McConnell, here in the X Zone from our studios in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. Don't go away.
This is the X-Zone Broadcast Network, broadcasting worldwide on broadcast affiliates and satellite program providers, including CNN Broadcast Network, Sirius Satellite Network, Star Media, Good News Radio Network, Angel Broadcast Network, Wiki Broadcast Network, and WPBN TV. For more information on the X-Zone Broadcast Network, visit us at www.xzbn.net.
1-800-610-7035 worldwide toll free. Email xzone@xzoneradiotv.com, on MSN Messenger, xzoneradiotv@hotmail.com, and our website, www.xzoneradiotv.com. Elizabeth Joyce is my guest. Her website is new-visions.com. We're talking about Elizabeth's predictions for 2012. We talked about the political arena. We also talked about the weather. But let's now talk about what you see as far as medical and technology advances or predictions.
The one thing that I want to say about 2012 is that it's going to be a very lucky year for many, many people. And that's so important because we have a lot of unexpected series of events that are coming that might be mysterious, that can be very good with medical. And I think that it's good to know that we have some good things happening. I do think that people are going to be going more to energetic healing. I do see a breakthrough for multiple sclerosis, for diabetes. Diabetes is almost going to go away.
That's good.
How do you like that, Rob?
I love it.
And I do think that the technical would be that there's going to be a lot of jealousy and laundry and texting on the internet that could bring some cyber lawsuits. That's the new word for 2012, cyber lawsuits. And Apple's going to unveil its TV internet combo in April, and I don't know how well that's going to do. I did feel that they need a little bit more of adjusting to it, and I did feel that the stock could be in trouble at that time.
Well, they've got to start somewhere.
That's true.
Apple is a technological innovator, and you have to start somewhere. You just can't. You just can't.
Yeah, and of course I miss Steve Jobs very much, but I do think that they'll get it. But I think that there's going to be a delay with that. I do think since we're going to have so much water, we're going to have more shipping. So the shipping and the boat manufacturing and water travel will become more common. We're going to have such a horrendous gas increase for oil and gas that it will be prohibitive to travel. And again, I know we had this before. I think there's going to be a lack of vacationers this next year, causing some kind of financial stress to people.
Now, in your predictions, one of them puzzled me. It says there's always a danger / tragedy as we enter the year. And you've got January 23rd, 2012, and a tragedy as we exit the year, February 2013.
Year of the Dragon.
Now, what is the significance of the Year of the Dragon?
Well, the Year of the Dragon is one of the 12 Chinese New Years, and they are very good at tracking the energy of what happens during these years. So there's a history. Like every Year of the Dragon, which is every 12 years, something happens that is above the norm. And so that's why I said that. I was reading about the history of the Chinese different years, and the Year of the Dragon brings those two things. So as we go in, there'll be some kind of an upset, and as we go out, there'll be some kind of an upset.
Oh, gotcha. All righty. So the Year of the Dragon is going to be lucky for a lot of people.
No, I said 2012 is going to be lucky for a lot of people. Different issue. The Year of the Dragon goes from the Chinese New Year's of January 23rd into February, I think it's the 9th of 2013, and it's done by the first full moon after the solstice. That's how they determined these different years. So they're a little bit of a different energy. 2012 is going to be lucky because I think money is going to be more stable than it has been, and I think housing might begin to turn around. And I also feel that there's a lot of good new technology with new jobs coming, and that's, to me, good.
One of your predictions is that the government will admit that we do have contact with other beings in other dimensions, our invisible helpers.
Yes, I do think that and I know that you've talked on this for a long time and have your feelings. I do think that there has been some kind of contact. I know that they just found that there's a new Earth in a different galaxy, or they think it is, and it seems to have oxygen and water on it that they can see by telescope. And, of course, there was a lot of things happening around the sun, and they saw objects flying into the sun that they thought were foreign objects. They didn't know what they were. So I think there's going to be something. It might be that we know that there's life on Earth 5 galaxies away, which is millions of light years. I'm not saying anything's going to be on this planet. We also think there was life on Mars. So right. I do think that other life in other dimensions is going to be acknowledged.
Okay, another one is Christianity will make a big comeback as people flock to the churches for spiritual enlightenment and guidance from God. What's going to be the catalyst?
The weather. What's going on with the weather and what's going on with these tsunamis and hurricanes and a volcanic explosion. There will be more this year. I also thought that the water was going to cause some earthquakes. The first earthquake, I think, is going to come to California, and I think we can have it momentarily, anytime before April 1st. I think there'll be a severe earthquake in California, and I think it's because the plates under the Pacific Ocean are moving. They're sliding. And so I see that upset.
You also predict a conflict or battle in outer space will occur this year between two countries, most likely involving Russia or China.
Right. I see these people trying to either get someplace first or take somebody's satellite out or something like this. And I think that Iran has the ability now to take out our technological satellites at the U.S., and they could knock out our computers and cell phones. But I see an upset between China and Russia and probably some other countries that have the technology.
Exonation, Elizabeth Joyce is our guest, www.new-visions.com. We're talking to her about her 2012 predictions. Let's get into the fun part. Stars for the stars. Let me see. Possible unexpected deaths include Henry Kissinger, Barbara Walters, Joan Rivers, and Lindsay Lohan. There's another tragic death in the Michael Jackson family.
Yeah, I felt that.
Pray tell me more.
Well, Lindsay Lohan has been on a downward spin for quite a while. And Henry Kissinger, I believe, has ill health now. And I feel that, I don't know why I got Joan Rivers and Barbara Walters. You really hate to put that out there, but there's something. Maybe they can go and get a physical and prevent whatever I see. That would be good.
Okay, here's one that I kind of like. Sally Kirkland and Nick Nolte get back together.
Yeah, that's going to be a surprise.
Yeah, not anymore.
The other thing that I like is that Angelina and Brad are going to do a movie. She's going to direct, and he's going to be in it.
Wow, that's going to be interesting. And then Elizabeth Taylor's children search for the out-of-wedlock daughter she had. Nora, the child Elizabeth gave up, is located.
Right, and they're going to embrace her, and I thought that was beautiful. And then, of course, I have the baby coming to William and Kate, but
yes.
I feel that I got that a little bit mixed up. Michelle Obama's going to have the son, and Prince William and Kate are going to have twins. And I think the twins will come by the end of the year. And Michelle is due in May.
All right, tell me, what's your affection with Harry Connick all about?
Oh, I love Harry Connick Jr. He's so frank. He is so frank. Frank Sinatra, meaning. But I do like him, and I think it's wonderful. He brings joy to people. He brings an eclectic vision of different music that he puts all together, so you can really feel happy and good. I just like him.
Plus, he's a real nice guy. When Katrina hit New Orleans, he did a lot to help raise money. He brought food and shelter, took care of the people. God bless him for that. All right.
Yeah, he's really a person that does help mankind in many ways with his charities. So many of them do, Robin. We don't hear about it, but Harry Connick is just a great guy. I was just humming his music, and I said, "Oh, he's going to have some good things." So I thought I'd write that down. Maybe he needs to hear it.
Now, what is going on behind the scenes in the Oprah camp? Her network is not doing well at all.
I said it wouldn't.
Yeah.
And we had that on the radio. I said that last March on the radio, and you were surprised. No, it isn't. It's awfully hard to get people away from their shows, quote.
Yeah.
And she's on cable, and of course then you have to pay to have that in your cable company, and it's not a regular channel, so all of that is being established. And then Gail walked out on her, and I think that affected her energetically.
Was there a cosmic connection between the fall of Obama and the fall of Oprah since she backed him?
It could have been energetic, sure. What's going on, though, is people haven't embraced the new thought yet. She's got wonderful positive channels and wonderful ways to help people. But the people aren't ready for it yet. I think they might be in a year or two, but it doesn't seem that they are right now. They want to watch Criminal Minds. They want to watch all these, police stories. That's what the mainstream wants. And, of course, the government likes that so that when they go to war, they'll be used to it.
You know, what I can't understand is here you've got Oprah, who seems to be a smart lady. She leaves $30 million to her dogs and her cats and the other animals. Like, what kind of person does that? Why not leave $30 million to people?
I've always said that. Leaving it to a center or leaving it to promote wellness for animals is fine. That's quite a bit, though. Yeah. I'd like to see her leave it to schools for children like she did in Africa. Or where do we need it? There's many, many places in the United States West Virginia, for example, parts of Florida and Texas that really need to have money to build up again. And that's where it should go. To help our children, if nothing else.
Yeah, like this makes no sense to me. I think that by leaving $30 million to animals certainly puts a person's mental state into question.
Well, that's
like I love my dogs. We've got two dogs, Maddie and Nikita. I love them dearly. If I was in a position to leave $30 million to them, I would separate the $30 million and leave some to the Canadian SPCA and so on and so forth. But I'd make sure people were taken care of first.
Right. But you know what else I said in the predictions this year was that people were going to stop having children and have animals because animals are easier to take care of. So something's out of whack somewhere.
Plus, if you don't like your animal, you can give it away. You can't do that with a child.
Oh, you can euthanize it.
Yeah.
That's true.
This world is going
children
crazy.
Children have it's the procreation of life. And I don't really know why we have that problem, but we do.
One other thing I want to talk to you about before we go to the commercial break in about 2 minutes is in the weather part of your predictions, which, by the way, X Zone Nation, we've posted at www.xzoneradio.tv.com/2010predictions.htm.
2012 predictions.
Yeah, that's what I said. Did I say 2010?
You did.
2012 predictions. Jet planes and space launches will be blamed for destroying the ozone layer in 2012.
I saw demonstrations. I saw people demonstrating down in Washington, D.C. to stop the jet planes and to stop going into space because of this. They're blaming. That doesn't mean that it's true. It means that people are going to get on some kind of a kick.
And you're also predicting great floods in Japan, China, and the Gulf Coast again.
Yes, this is the year of the water. I think that we're going to have, remember we had that tremendous rain at the Mississippi and Missouri rivers this year. We're going to have more. What's eventually going to happen, and I don't know how many years it's going to take, is the Great Lakes are going to come down and go into the Atlantic Ocean, and that whole thing is going to open and split. And I remember telling you about the St. Lawrence River and about the plates around upper New York State and Vermont, and that's all seems to be working towards some kind of eruption this year.
And of course, with the water levels being low because of the lack of snow that we're not having this winter, that's just adding credence to what you just said.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, stand by.
As I said, you look out for those hailstones, Rob. You're going to have to go into the basement.
All right, so I'm going to move my studio from the 4th floor down to the basement. You've got it.
There you go.
All right, stand by, Elizabeth. You and I have to take our final break for this hour. X Zone Nation, our special guest is the one and only Miss Elizabeth Joyce. Her website is www.new-visions.com. And Elizabeth and I will be back on the other side of this commercial break as we continue from our studios in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. Once again, if you'd like to see all the information we have on Publish America, we have over 91 articles and websites hyperlinked for you. www.bewareofpublishamerica.com. My name is Rob McConnell. This is the X Zone. I'll be back on the other side of this commercial break as we continue from our studios in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, with my special guest and good friend, Miss Elizabeth Joyce. Did you know that when you're on the road with limited data or Wi-Fi, you can still listen to the X Zone Radio Show with Rob McConnell, The Science of Magic with Gwilda Wiyaka, X-1, Dimension X, Space Patrol, and every minute of the X Zone Broadcast Network by calling 213-401-0080, courtesy of Audio Now. No smartphone, app, or internet needed. It saves your data plan and it's free if you have unlimited minutes. Call 213-401-0080 to listen on any phone, anytime, anywhere. Remember 213-401-0080 for the best of the paranormal, parapsychology, and sci-fi radio programming anywhere, 24/7, 365. Oh my gosh, they should do another song called Snow When the Snow Comes. 1-800-610-7035. That was the Beatles with Rain. My special guest this hour, my good friend Elizabeth Joyce, who's going to be with me at the Body, Mind, Spirit Expo in Toronto, which was supposed to be in February, but I was speaking to Chandler Armstrong the other day, and it's been put to May of 2012. So we look forward to seeing you there. Elizabeth, first of all, thanks very much for joining us. Always great talking to you. But let's talk about baby predictions for 2012.
Well, I told you about Katie having twins.
Yes.
And Michelle Obama birthing, I think, a son in May. But Beyonce is going to have a child, although she's not going to carry the child. Beyonce is going to have a surrogate mother. And I think that they'll try to keep it quiet. So she's going to say that they had a child.
You know, this reminds me of a drive-through. You know, I'll have a kid, but I want you to carry it because I don't want to ruin my body. I don't want to have to.
I know.
Oh, come
so
on.
That's happening. I think Britney Spears is pregnant, is she not?
I didn't do it.
We have some, oh darn, we have some wonderful births coming this year. And I think that we might have more children born this year than lately, and I feel that they're going to be powerful children with lots of wonderful spiritual gifts.
That is welcomed, because what this world needs now more than anything is spirituality to unite us as one. Because as
that's
one,
part
we
of why
can.
the Christian churches are going to grow, and I think that other religions will grow as well, and we just need to come together and help each other. You know, the new charity that I feel is needed, Rob, is for us to help people in our local towns and in our communities and in our states, which we have, and also, you know, in our area. Whoever we know privately that needs help, that's having a change, that's losing a job, or needs a friend, maybe we can give them some clothing or money or something to help them through. And there you are. You're doing your part in charity.
What we have to do is keep the Christmas spirit alive 365 days of the year.
Right, because we're here for service. We're here to help
Exactly.
others, and that's important.
Elizabeth, our time has run out. As always, great talking to you. Let our listeners know how they can contact you for a one-on-one consultation.
I do want to say one more thing real
Sure.
quick. My son Vance has quite a group in China listening to the X-Zone Nation, and I think that's fabulous.
Hey, Vance, and to all Vance's friends, thank you very much for sharing your time with us here on the X-Zone. Great
And
mom
Happy
you've
New
got.
Year to
And
China.
a Happy New Year to China.
My phone number is 201-934-8986.
One more time, please, dear.
201-934-8986.
And X-Zone Nation, if you'd like to read the predictions, all of Elizabeth's predictions, they're at www.xzoneradiotv.com/predictions 2012. My name's Rob McConnell. This is the X-Zone, and we'll be back on the other side of this commercial break. And Craig just told me I had the URL wrong. It's www.xzoneradiotv.com/2012 predictions.htm. That's 2012 predictions.htm. Elizabeth, take care of yourself, my dear friend. I look forward to the next time you and I chat together here in the X-Zone. I'll be back on the other side of this commercial break.
Happy New Year, everybody.
I'll be back on the other side of this commercial break as we continue from our studios in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, here in the X-Zone with yours truly, Rob McConnell.